Hey guys, welcome to week 5 of fantasy football. Sorry for another late video, but let's just get right into it. The studs and the duds from last week. Heiser, you were the stud. You put up big points. You put up points on an undefeated Aaron. You made the league closer. Good job, Heiser. Dud goes to Jim. This is why. Kind of a different dud. Dud because you have lost 3 games, and you've lost by 5 points, 6.5 points, and less than 1 point. This is the opposite of clutch. You have the fantasy yips, so you are the dud. Get it together, Jim, and close those games. All right, let's get to our weekly segment of what has to happen for me to win. Let's go with me first. Lacey has to find the Lynch fountain of power or whatever it is in Seattle now that he could be the starter. Garcon's got to get 11 catches against a bad Indy team. Funchess has to become the #1 receiver for a good Cam Newton. And the Browns have to keep sucking, meaning that they got to let tight ends score all over them because I have the Jets tight end, and their wide receivers have to keep almost catching the ball and then letting it bounce off their chest to the other team for interceptions because I have their defense too. So, keep sucking Browns, and all of that will work out for me. Ben, what has to happen to you for me to win, you to lose? Big Ben has to get hurt and then do the thing that he tries to play hurt and sucks. The Seahawks have to stuff the Rams. I mean, they are the Rams. Come on, Seahawks, put them back in their place and keep Gurley out of the end zone. Watson has to cool off, which means Hopkins will not get the targets. And Trubisky has to come out on fire like every other Browns quarterback that they don't draft and light up the Vikings. I don't think all that stuff's going to happen. Either way, Ben, you win. Okay, let's get to our regular scheduled games of the week. We have Nick versus John. I like that Hunt for you. Nick had his worst game last week, and he ran for 100 yards still. So I like him. I think Dez and Dak are going to figure this thing out this week. It seems like they always flirt with being good together, but they can't ever put it together. I think they will. And I like Keenan Allen against the Giants. John, I would have picked Brady, but nope, he didn't have the game we'd hoped for. I think McCoy will get some catches this week, but overall, I like struggle when I look at the rest of your team, so a win goes to Nick. All right, Drew versus Ben Baker. Drew, I think it's crazy that a name you put on your team last year still fits this year. I think T.Y. was going to get 10 catches for you, and I think Gord's going to get a TD. Ben Baker, I like Hyde versus Indy. I think Ertz is going to get 15-plus points, and I think Miller's going to continue his touchdown resurgence and get a TD this week, so Ben Baker, you're going to win. All right, I have Aaron versus Jim. I would have been good on Evans and Cook, but neither of them played that well, and Cook has that thing that he looks like the Patriots could trade him, you know what I mean, where he's not worth his money anymore for like 2 games, so he's gone. I could see it happening, that's all I'm saying. Rodgers, I think he's going to hit Dallas in the face again like he did last year in the playoffs. Besides that, I couldn't find anything else that I felt like I'm not going to just throw something out there just to throw a third thing. I had nothing else for you, Aaron. And then, Jim, you look like me. I looked at your team and I thought, oh my gosh, there's a roster. It looks like my roster. All free agent wire pickups. All hope, but really no flash. I think Watson has another 2 good games in him. Just my prediction before people start slowing him down. So that's a good plus for you. And I think that Baldwin is going to have a good game. He seems to be a favorite as Russell goes well. Overall, this is going to be a really low-scoring game. I think it only matters what Rodgers and Watson do, and this week I'm going with Rodgers. So, Aaron, you win in a low-scoring game. All right, we have Tyler versus Andy. I am a Cam believer. I think he's found it. I think he's good. He seems to suck for 3, 4, 5 weeks every year and then play great. So I think he's back. I think Brown, it's his turn. He's had a good week, bad week, good week, bad week, so good week. And Duke and more Duke. Duke Johnson, because Crow is not doing well, even in his limited touches, so then Duke gets more, the Browns get down, and then we have to throw the ball more, which keeps Duke on the field, which also no one else on our team can catch, so Duke and more Duke. That's good for you, Tyler. Andy, I think Clay is going to get a TD, seems to every week, so why not this week? Winston, had like a wash against New England, I guess. It was good. I think 20 points is good, but not great. And I like Diggs going against Chicago, so I think that is good. Tyler, you get the win this week. All right, last game is Chris versus Heiser. I think Dak has some revenge to give to Green Bay, so I think he's going to play well. Fitzgerald is the possession receiver that they lose in David Johnson, plus he's a Hall of Famer. I think he's going to get 8 catches. I think Gordon is going to get over 20 points for the first time in this week. Heiser, I think you're going to get Bell on the ground more. That worked last week. I think they'll go back to it. McCaffrey, I think, is actually going to get 10-plus touches and a TD this week. He's been losing carries, but I think he gets them back this week. And the Ravens are facing E.J. Manuel, which he is awful. So I think that they'll have a big game. So Heiser, you get the win. All right, go Tribe. Anyone watch that 8-3 comeback in the 6th inning? I know this is football, but come on, be a baseball fan. Watch the Indians. That's exciting. It was against the Yankees, which who likes the Yankees? So you're all rooting for the Indians, I know. Besides that, go Browns. Question of the week. Who wins first? The Browns against the Jets, or me versus Ben? Or are we going to go into next week and ask the question again? So, in a comment, who wins first? The Browns get their first win, or my team does? See ya.